Hey everybody, it's your boy SergDragon, and welcome back to another edition of the Evans Monsters Podcast. With me always is T-Money!
And you smell what the lion is cooking.
There you go. Okay, so we're doing it on Wednesday because we also got Impact Wrestling to cover if we have the time. So let's get it going. We're covering July 29th and 30th of Raw and Smackdown 2019. There we go. First off, starting off Monday Night Raw, we have an interesting bout between the 24/7 champion R-Truth and Carmella versus Drake Maverick and his wife, Renee Mitchell?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Her name's Renee.
Her name is Michelle.
Michelle. I read it wrong. Well, she's Michelle Maverick.
Renee,
kind of.
Yeah, they call her Renee Maverick.
Renee Maverick is in a mixed tag team match because if Drake Maverick's team won, he become the new 24/7 title. Otherwise, the title does not change. In which case, it did not, thanks to, well, I guess Drake Maverick believing that his wife wasn't able to compete because she was all over Carmella at one point. He drags her to the side and says, "I got this." And Carmella freaking kicks his face. And here comes R-Truth to deliver the final blow and retains his title. Sadly, during that match, the whole time, it was surrounded by Raw and SmackDown superstars in a no clause to, the 24/7 rules are null and void through that match until the match ended, which it did, and everybody jumped R-Truth, and the referee, it is a dog pile, and the referee pins in 1, 2, 3, but nobody knows who won until somebody comes out with the title in hand, and that person is none other than Mike Kanellis, who actually gets the title after complaining about not getting a title shot for the Cruiserweight title on 205 Live. Actually runs with the title and is seriously trying to find a hiding spot. Manages to, but then everybody's banging on the door, and here comes Maria Kanellis, pregnant and all, saying, "Let me in." And well, he lets her in, but after a while later, we get Maria Kanellis gets a referee and demands him to lay down and hand over the title. It was skeptical of the fact that he didn't want to, but for his wife, he did. And she became the first ever pregnant 24/7 champion or champion at all.
Why don't you say the second female to become 24/7 champion?
No, she's the fourth.
No, it's the second female. Well,
fourth, remember? Candice Michelle and the one who dropped the WWE title in the trash? That was second and third. She's the fourth.
Okay.
You forgot already.
My mind was on Kelly.
And not any of the other women?
No.
Stupid. Anyway, with that said, being the first ever pregnant champion and the fourth woman champion of the 24/7 title, she goes around and immediately has a bunch of the guys chasing Mike Kanellis now is looking at her, and she is rubbing it in the face like, "You gonna lay your hands on a pregnant woman." None of them did. Not the Daddy Award-winning Titus O'Neil, not Mojo Riley, not EC3. None. Not even the monster among men, Braun Strowman, had an opportunity. He didn't take it. He was just growling. Going,
Well, how's R-Truth gonna do it?
I don't know. Where's R-Truth in all of this? And Drake Maverick.
He's still mad. He's still...
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, no, I'll say anyway.
Okay.
He's still upset that he losing that belt, and he does not. He doesn't know how to get it get the belt back.
We'll see. In which case, she is just loafing around. Just, oh my God!
He's like,
somebody needs to just go low and just take it from her. I don't care. I would make her tap out. I would say, "What's more important, the title or your health, particularly your babies?" They're like, "You monster!" I look at her and say, "No, duh."
Now let's They makes her strips the belt off of her.
What $1 million man buys it off of her again?
Well, I don't know about him. I don't know.
He would.
But I don't know if he would. I think that's just a one-time
Big
thing.
up a 2-time.
I don't know if that's. I don't know if this is a one-time thing. I don't think he's gonna ever show this. Probably, I'd still say that
We'll
they're
see.
probably gonna make her relinquish the belt.
Or another woman does it.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. We'll have to wait and see. In which case, brownie points. If Drake Maverick's wife, Renee Maverick, actually gets it and says, now I'm the 24/7 title. And he's like, you know what? I'm good. Let's go. He's happy that one of them has a title. That'd be good. Or Carmella takes it. That's another one. With that said, the next match after the, R-Truth and Drake Maverick mixed match tag team with Drake Maverick's wife, Renee, and Carmella. The match that comes right after that is none other than a 5-man gauntlet match to determine the number 1 contender for AJ Styles' United States title. In which case, we start off with Rey Mysterio as well as Cesaro. That match would go on for over 20 minutes until finally Cesaro is taken out and Sami Zayn comes in, jumps Rey Mysterio, but Rey Mysterio gets it with a small package and he has the gall to say, I'm not ready. You had several seconds.
See you Friday, man.
See you Friday.
Friday.
He's saying he was ready. Well, here comes Andrea to take advantage of a wounded, still worn out Rey Mysterio, and he takes him still for quite about maybe 10 minutes or so to actually get the pin on him and still attack him, where Ricochet is the last man in the 5-man gauntlet match to take on Andrea and put him out to put himself at SummerSlam for AJ Styles' U.S. title.
I still don't like his mask, y'all.
Who?
Rey Mysterio. I like his
Oh, yeah. Fun fact. During the commercial break with Cesaro, that feathery thing was taken off at some point. They didn't show that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because I like his old masks that he had during the Ruthless Aggression era.
Oh, he had tons of matches.
Yeah.
Tons of masks.
But my favorite ones that he had out of superhero was Batman and Spider.
You know those were WrestleMania only ones.
Yeah,
right?
I know that. That's what I'm saying. I just said that.
He's not WrestleMania.
I know it's like superhero masks he
Yeah,
had.
the Mysterio last time.
That's Mysterio that we all knew and loved, though.
Yeah.
Mine was Batman, Spider-Man, The Flash.
Not Avatar?
No,
Not Captain America?
that one's cool too. And Iron Man.
What about the black and gold one?
No.
See, I like Rey Mysterio's mask. He's always colorful.
But the word
I have no Pacific favorite.
the one I didn't like was the Avatar that you just mentioned and Joker. And the Silver Surfer.
All right. Next, we have Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross host a special moment of bliss with the Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch and Natalya. Instead of a guest on the show, they actually talk about what happened earlier on Raw, which would be Fit Finley. His name is, we call him just Finley, but his name is Fit Finley.
Yeah, but
F-I-T, Finley.
But most people usually his real name call him Dave Finley.
He's training Natalya on how to counteract the disarmor. Here comes Becky Lynch to actually put her in disarmor and just ring it and even hurt Finn Finley himself, hitting his shin.
Well, you know, Finley is known for training women. He's done that for 19 years in WWE.
Mm-hmm. And ultimately, we would have a match between Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss later that night, where Becky Lynch goes on the Megatron, the TV thing, and actually says her piece on how she feels about her bringing that up and her mentioning a few words to Natalya. So next we have Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, members of the OC, the original club or only club, going up against the Raw Tag Team type champions, the Revival and the Usos. Ultimately, Gallows and Carl Anderson defeat them and become the new tag team champions of Monday Night Raw.
I was happy because the Revival, to me, the Revival was weak.
What? No, the Revival
No, I know,
hard, man.
but we're talking about they look like midgets.
Who?
Like the Revival and the Usos.
The Revival, yes, but the Usos are pretty hard
Yeah,
fighters.
but people used to call them midgets though because they're not as like they said they're not as good as the Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys proved that, but still, don't take away from the Usos. They're always hard fighters.
Yeah, but people do take away from Usos, bro.
I know.
know.
I'll give them a chance because they always came up on top a lot of times.
Yeah, people say
Multi-time.
People say they're
8
not,
times, right?
Well, they're not 8-time champions. They're like 6-time champions.
That's what I'm at.
Yeah, but see, they said they're not as good as the Hardys. They're not as good as the
Dudley Boys.
Yeah, the Dudley Boys. They're not as good as Brother Destruction. The Steiner Brothers, Harlem Heat.
They had their moments, but they don't come back.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, next we have the fact that, because you think about it now, the original club, OCs as they call themselves, with AJ Styles and the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, are running Monday Night Raw with 3 titles, while the New Day are running their 3 titles on SmackDown. You notice that, right? That's pretty interesting. Next, we have the Viking Raiders defeat 2 local talents again. They went from fighting Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins now to fighting local talents. Put them in a title match.
Here's the thing.
Come on.
Here's the thing you didn't know because they even gonna tell you this backstage. My brother find this out this morning. There are fans considering the Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins like those amateur wrestlers. They're not concerned like they're not taken seriously.
Okay. NXT Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, are shown backstage talking about tonight's broadcast until Seth Rollins joins them for a "Burn It Down" chant. Even they were making wisecracks on saying that the bigger guy, because he was saying when they were mentioning Maria Kanellis. And saying that, you didn't get the hanky-panky, did you? Yeah, it didn't go. Oh, hell no. Don't even joke about that. Oh.
Why did Rock do that? He'll do that.
We then have the match between Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss. Ultimately, an injury is involved with Becky Lynch's leg, leading to Becky Lynch's victory in no contest. Or just, I think it's called that, when it's unable to compete by default. Very furious is Nikki Cross to have a follow-up match against Becky Lynch and ultimately is led to attack by an uninjured,
She was playing,
playing possum.
Yeah.
So it led to a disqualification.
Because if you think about it, Eddie Guerrero did the same thing.
Yeah. Although she took on the odds and was whooping ass until Natalya comes in and gets a comeback or payback and puts her into the sharpshooter.
That was just that was just sending her a message saying that she was going to take that title from her.
No, worse.
No.
She actually would be interviewed later after the commercial break of that. Kaylee Braxton? Kayla Braxton actually interviews Natalya to get her take on that subject, and Natalya actually issues a challenge to Becky Lynch at SummerSlam to a submission match. Her disarmer versus the sharpshooter to see who would win and who is superior in submission style.
But they used to call it back in the day. That means send a message to the wrestler that they're going to take that title from
Of course, it's still done today.
Yeah.
That's
what Natalya
It's still done today.
Yeah, that's what Natalya was doing.
We all know that.
Yeah.
But the middle message was a submission match. That's a game changer. Mm-hmm. From a normal standing match to a submission stipulation rules match. There you go.
Well, but I hope she can get. I hope. It don't matter to me who wins, but Becky, you better hope you can break out of that. Because that sharpshooter is famous, no doubt about it. That's a legendary move.
Oh, this part. I have never seen this in a long time. We would then have Seth Rollins going up against Dolph Ziggler after the incident of last week's SmackDown, where he would attack and beat down not only The Miz, but more importantly, Shawn Michaels. A lot of people have mad respect for Shawn Michaels, rightfully so, for all the things he's done that led up to the point in super kicking him with, beating him down with his own move that he made legend. Super kick.
Not exactly a lot of people, bro. Some people, some wrestlers don't have any respect for him.
Yeah, but he was, they were said to be lined up. There was lined up, including women.
People take shots at him, bro.
I know. But there's still a lot of mad respect. Would you say you respect Shawn Michaels?
Yeah.
There you go. I do.
Yeah, some don't have respect for him.
I will say that that's true too.
Yeah.
Then again, it would end in disqualification thanks to a unexpected, was thought to be a taunt, but no, he shows up. The Universal Champion Brock Lesnar is not on vacation. He shows up to Monday Night Raw to lay the beat down on Seth Rollins, and does he ever? I have not seen this side of Brock Lesnar in years. Brock Lesnar takes a chair. I mean, he made Seth Rollins bleed eternally by putting a chair up and F5 him, his midsection directly on the chair, folded upward.
I seen shit like that happen to Kurt Angle.
Unfolded, sorry.
I seen stuff like that happen to Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero on the hands of Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, but that's what my point exactly. It has not been done by Brock Lesnar or anybody in a long time.
I guess what he's doing is trying to say that. He was trying to say that so he gets ready.
But then you would think concerned Roman Reigns and others would actually escort by stretcher into ambulance Seth Rollins. Freaking Samoa Joe and other people jump the hell out of freaking Roman Reigns, and that battle continues onward to the stage. But before we get to that, it would be still Brock Lesnar is not done. He is right when you see the ambulance about to head out after they close the door. Brock Lesnar is right there in front telling the ambulance to put it in parking. He rolls out and just skis out of there and hits, knocking Seth Rollins out of the freaking stretcher. Unbuckles him, pulls him over his shoulders, grunts and everything, growls, and throws him onto another F5, onto the fucking stretcher that's topped over, exposed metal and everything. These stretchers are made to sturdy. That's not a fake stretcher. That's a real stretcher. And he is thrown once again into the midsection. Already a wounded, bloody mouth. Internally injured. Seth Rollins again. Oh my God.
But you know what would have been worse that he did?
Paul Heyman stop.
But you know what would have been worse?
What?
Because Brock Lesnar used to do this back then in the Ruthless Aggression era, where he had his opponent on that stretcher and strapped it in there and picked the thing up, pick him up when he's laying on that stretcher and set him up from the F5 to that pole. That would fucking hurt.
He didn't do that, but he did something just as bad. Yeah. Not gonna lie.
Something different. Yeah.
And later on, I'm going to say this right now on SmackDown, we have, thanks to the fact of WWE on Twitter, they actually said that Seth Rollins did not want his medical chart actually shown, his medical status, his health status not shown, because he does not want to jeopardize the match between him and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, which is in, I think, 3 weeks or 2 weeks from now.
This is in August.
August 14th.
I thought it was August 11th.
1 second.
August 10 or 11. I think that's what I saw on my phone.
Oh no, it's in 2 weeks. Okay, that's what I wanted to confirm. It's in 2 weeks. So will he recuperate? And will he even show up on Monday Night Raw next week? I wouldn't recommend it.
I seriously doubt it what the hands of Brock Lesnar just did to him. He'd probably just stay at home, watch weight.
That would be the best option, but I wouldn't put it past Seth Rollins to show up on Monday Night Raw.
But if he did show, he'd probably come prepared. Because Brock Lesnar, they'll call him the beast incarnate or the next big thing. Brock Lesnar is an animal. He will destroy anyone that gets in his way.
Okay, this I might need the rest of because this is crazy. Next, before Samoa, it's mixed up. Courtesy, like I said before, while they were trying to put Seth Rollins into the stretcher before the second attack by Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns gets jumped by Samoa Joe. Ultimately, later, after that incident and commercial break from that horrific scene of the second layout of Seth Rollins on that stretcher in the back, we would have Samoa Joe come out to the Samoan Summit, that's what they call it, to actually say that he would be fighting against Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, which we would suppose he said it would be canceled thanks to his attack to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns then comes out and just whoops his ass saying that he ain't down for the count. And it would be from thought to be a one-on-one feud. Nope. We would have people like Drew McIntyre coming out, attacking Roman Reigns, and Cedric Alexander, who still has beef with Drew McIntyre, to aid in Roman Reigns' hands. I'm getting all these names we would have the club actually attack the freaking guys, and the freaking Usos join in it too. Or is it vice versa? Usos before the club. Yeah. It's crazy.
They're watching their cousins back.
And it's also AJ Styles is involved that, not just Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Then on the top of the fucking Tron, you can take your phone out and look up the 30th of SmackDown. And the freaking Cedric Alexander is on the top of the Tron. We haven't seen that in a long time. Somebody going that far. I love cruiserweights, man, because of this. Because he jumps. Oh my God! Everybody's laid out and almost falling off the stage. Holy shit! This is crazy.
Yeah, the only two people you usually see them doing that type of stuff is Rey Mysterio and Jeff Hardy.
Yeah. Good on you, Cedric Alexander. Goddamn.
But people still criticize him though. You know
what?
Cedric Alexander, because they don't see him. They don't see him as like a big dude. See him as
you mean heavyweight title?
Yeah,
heavyweight class. He's not. Yeah, he's not. He probably gained some weight now after going from Cruiserweight 205 Live.
Well, they just don't see him
to Raw.
They don't see him wrestle with the big dudes like Drew McIntyre and all.
He's been.
Yeah.
He got a couple of wins on Drew McIntyre alone, and he did that one hell of a stunt. He's on his way to have himself a Rey Mysterio career, eventually becoming world champion. In theory,
that's what they said. That's what happened to Kalisto. Look what happened to him.
Huh?
That's what they said about Kalisto. Look what happened to him.
Oh, I didn't believe Kalisto had a chance.
Yeah.
They
were trying to make him look like the next Rey Mysterio, and they said that didn't work. So let's see.
I know it didn't work.
Yeah. So let's see what happens with Cedric Alexander.
Well, anyway, while he's looking up the Raw on July 30th, I'll be covering the fact that a shout out to our boys, the Heaven Monsters podcast crew, with Xavier Hill, Mike Henry, and Andre Mitchell. A link to all three of their YouTube pages will be in the descriptions down below as always. Check it out. In addition to Renee, Pharaoh, Delvin, and Chris Petrie. Also, I'm going to try doing this. I don't know if I can. I mean, I will. For the sake of warning, as always, I will leave my link to all my social media, including my Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, Discord, and of course, my 18 and up, not safe for work Twitter account. That's what I said is this. That's the iffiest one. I'll see how that works. And if the YouTube doesn't like it, I won't put it. But otherwise, it will be there in descriptions down below as well. And shout out at me. Also, I have some of my boys on Twitter as well as Instagram, mainly Xavier, as well as my boys on Facebook. Discord, I don't know if they have one, and I don't think they got a Tumblr. So we'll get to that. Yeah, buddy. Here we go. 24 mark. going on to 25. That's right. We would start the night with SmackDown featuring an announcement message from Shane McMahon saying that courtesy of his injury of last week from 2 stunners from Kevin Owens, we would actually have no sign of Shane McMahon showing up. Yee!
Oh, and here's one thing I want to say. It is reported that WWE and people who are going to Vince McMahon and Vince McMahon himself doesn't want superstars today use the legends of finisher moves.
But that's the fun part.
Because if the legends feel like it's disrespectful to them.
So no more stunners?
Right.
Fuck you. I want to see stunners. I want to see some people do stunners. Or twist it into a stunner like the Eclipse. Case in point, I also want to mention before we actually start the first match is, you were right. I didn't pay attention to this because I must have went out and helped my mom with cooking or whatever she needed and came back and didn't see this part. Where Charlotte Flair gets pinned by the interruption of Bayley, and later I see, thanks to the recap, Ember Moon throwing Bayley into the ring to fight Charlotte Flair, getting knocked out, but then eclipsing both Charlotte Flair and then immediately after Bayley doing 2 eclipse. I was like, damn, 2 eclipse! Showcasing that she's taking this title shot very seriously.
And WWE wants to make Ember Moon a heel.
I'd like to see that. She's a war goddess, so I like to see it. So next would be the first match of the night, where Kevin Owens comes out and gives his opinion on the absence of Shane McMahon, and he's happy. Where Drew McIntyre comes in and states that courtesy of Shane McMahon, he had one ruling that there would be a match between him and Kevin Owens. And it started immediately after that beatdown. Thankfully, Drew McIntyre didn't get the win. He would get a pump-up powerbomb, which is his signature move originally in NXT and then coming to SmackDown or Raw to fight John Cena and so forth. But it didn't put Drew McIntyre away. Instead, we would get 2 stunners, one in announce table and another after a super kick, and then followed by the second stunner that puts Drew McIntyre away. I guess that's what they were talking about with the stunners and shit. I like it though. It's pretty good. Even though it's coming from someone like a babyface Kevin Owens, which I'm waiting for him to turn heel.
Yeah, they don't want him to use no stunners.
Okay, I did not see this. This must have been exclusive. I need to see this. Belly K comes down with a puppy fever and Iconics can't compete. WWE. Yep, it's exclusive. Son of a... gotta look at that. Next, we would have, Alexa Bliss against Nikki Cross.
You said against Nikki Cross.
It's a tag team match. I was like, wait a minute. Wasn't it? Or did they have them in the corners? And sure enough, it would be Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss teaming up against Bayley and Ember Moon. After their little spat last week that I just mentioned, they're being told to team up, and ultimately not cheating, I will say, is Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross taking out Bayley outside and injuring Ember Moon to get the Twisted Bliss flip of Alexa Bliss to get the win for her and Nikki Cross. And now people are saying that, why? Alexa Bliss deserves yet another chance at the SmackDown title, and is even by Corey Graves. That's his name. Corey Graves is saying that she needs to be put in the match in a triple threat at SummerSlam for the SmackDown's title. I'm like, what the hell? Come on, not again. Enough. Next, we have King's Court with Jerry the King Lawler and his guest, throughout the week been told, Stratus. The Stratus faction is back, people. And I was waiting for this when he said it was already confirmed. And he was shocked that night before SmackDown. He was already, oh, it's already confirmed. Holy shit. That's what you would say.
The real queen.
We would have the queen of SmackDown, Charlotte Flair, announce herself saying that if it's King Court, why is there no real queen in the ring? A challenge was declared to Trish Stratus, besides all the chit chat. If you want to hear it, go watch. It would be Trish Stratus accepting the challenge of Charlotte Flair at match at SummerSlam. This is going to be good. We have the Stratus faction versus the Queen. Woohoo!
No, she was known as the princess. But
Dolph Ziggler takes on Finn Balor, and Dolph Ziggler successfully defeats Finn Balor thanks to the interruption and appearance of the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. He does not intervene. He just appears and disappears within the darkness. And Dolph Ziggler takes advantage of it and gets the win. Mm-hmm. We then have later on an episode, a different episode altogether of the Funhouse. The Firefly Funhouse, that's called. Where Rambling Rabbit is trying to talk to Finn Balor, saying how much of a fan he is, that he shouldn't take on the Fiend, and once again is mentioning what is really happening in the Firefly Funhouse, and is quickly running, and Bray Wyatt is like looking at him like, let me in. This is getting interesting. Next we have Ali taking on Shinsuke Nakamura and defeating him. Now we are skeptical on really saying, will Ali get a number one contendership at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental title? I hope so. That would be a good match. Next we have the Club, the OC versus the New Day, where champion versus champion, AJ Styles versus Kofi Kingston. Ultimately, thanks to some outside interference going on, the match keeps going despite that, where AJ Styles, and this is a shout out to our boy Chris Petrie, who's a huge AJ Styles fan. I bet you didn't see this coming. AJ Styles is looking for the phenomenal forearm and goes for it, but AJ Styles sees it coming. Trouble in paradise. Boom! Buzzsaw kick to AJ's face. And Kofi Kingston gets the win and the brownie points for their respective dominant teams on Raw and SmackDown. Woohoo! Cap your phone. Here's something that I don't know what the hell WWE is doing with the storyline, but this, we were supposed to have, I don't know what happened to Samoa Joe, but Roman Reigns throughout SmackDown Live was told that he was going to come out and announce his challenge his opponent. Yeah, to his opponent at SummerSlam, but I don't know what the hell. We would have an unexpected scene where it's a wide camera angle, like what the hell's going on? Why are we recording all this space? And we would see equipment falling right on top of him. And I was thinking it was just staged, like that one time with Braun Strowman bringing down all that equipment on Kane and Brock Lesnar. No, he really did have all that stuff on him. I was like, holy shit, we have images where he literally has the stuff on him. And he's shown that he's okay, but like you were saying before, the medics wanted to take him in. He said, nah. I need to go back because I didn't see the full extent. You say it was that, but the show actually got cut off, and I'm like, what the hell? We'll be right back. So with that said, on my part, all I see is being cut off because I thought I always recorded 5 to 15 minutes after Raw and SmackDown on USA because you never know when they go overtime. And I have to go and see what I can find to see how it actually ended. Because what the hell was that about? Dude. So Roman Reigns may not have an opponent or a match at SummerSlam.
Well, we'll see what next Tuesday if they let him make an announcement.
Probably Monday Night Raw, if not SmackDown. I don't know. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, it's already past 9:30. His ride's coming, so we don't have time to do Impact. But next Friday, we will do Impact and 205 Live at NXT. So we'll do a rundown of those. And I hope to see you then. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Hit that subscribe button right freaking there. If you like the content, and hit that notification bell for the next Seven Monsters podcast. I'm SergDragon. This is Terrence, a.k.a. T-Money.
And smell the lion's cooking.
And we'll see you in the next Seven Monsters podcast. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.